Hey everyone, Fatty from Pack a Punch Traders here. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Just going to do a quick video going over the top 4 plays for tomorrow. Let's just dive into this here. MEGL, we got a multi-day bounce. This has been on watch for the past few days now. Solid push, way off the highs now. It's definitely due for a bounce. Making new lows, but volume to the short side, or seller side in general, just isn't increasing. So might be reaching a bottom here, even though did have a decent pullback on Friday, but still, even with that, not a whole ton of volume really coming into the breakdown to new lows, making me think we might be starting to bottom out soon. So keep this on watch for a multi-day bounce, as we normally do. Look for that momentum shift, more buying, maybe a gap up, failure to break down, wait 3 to 5 minutes for it to, at least, for it to break before it breaks the high that it sets to confirm that momentum shift. There was QNRX. This was last week. Trying to remember what was my last one on NVTA. Yeah, so this one we had the bounce on this one. Very solid move. Capture that first move here, not this whole thing. But all we're looking for, the failure to break down. It's holding key levels. In this case, we got last close. And then from there, really, it's just gauging the momentum, the volume, what side has more momentum on it. Is it holding VWAP? So yeah, just looking for these little cues, little signals, Q and RX. We'll take a look at this as well to give you an idea. This one needed more time to consolidate, didn't do it right out of the gate. So here's a variation of what it could look like as well. It doesn't have to do it right when the market opens within that 10-15 minutes. It could just fade and do nothing, and that could be a good signal if it does start getting that momentum. Here we got volume perking up, a lot of buying, reclaims high a day, and that was the cue. I did get in a little late on this. I got in at 510, but that's what we're looking for, the confirmation of that high. That will be the signal of a momentum shift and trend reversal on the shorts. So let's get back to this. MEGL. We got multi-day bounce. Same thing with HLBZ. Even though this one did have a little bit of a bounce here, it finished red. Shorts were still in control. And here we are making new lows to the downside on insignificant volume. It's not gaining at all. It just keeps fading. So going to keep an eye on this. See if it could, same thing, fail to break down and start moving upwards with some decent volume behind it. And that should trigger more shorts, more short covering, and more dip buyers coming in. Then we got AEY. This was a mover here from Friday. Was kind of choppy and just went sideways, for being honest. Made some lower highs. But in general, it's got some volume behind it. It is a low float, 9.6 million. Low market cap. Not bad sector. We had a solid breakout over 150. And I'm thinking if this could get back to the highs, it's not that far off the highs. It could really hold the 220s, maybe the 230s, where there's a breakout level here with some decent volume behind it. So if it could confirm that area, that could lead to some strength to test, I think, 3. Might have a hard time in the high 2s, but whole dollar, half dollar area of 3. Right here we see some resistance in the 280s. But yeah, just that zone, look to probably sell into. That would be my plan if this works out and I end up in this somewhere in the 220s, 230s, maybe 240s. Just locking in 20%, even a little more. But yeah, so AEY, waiting game to see how it reacts tomorrow, see what momentum it's got. But just gonna focus on that previous high at daybreak of 220, which is just below a multi-month breakout of 232, 234. So yeah, AEY. And lastly here, What do we got? What do we got? Not that. LQDA. Here we had a freaking beautiful breakout over the high fives. Just took off. Not even that low of a float, right? Yeah, just under 50 million. But with this one, we do have a volume perk, solid breakout, and it's not that far off of the year highs here. So I'm thinking if. Now, this is not my top play out of my top watches. I do like the multi-day bounces a little more. But this thing here, as we can see, solid move, and it's holding most of its gains. It's holding over half of its gains, it looks like. I didn't do the math, just kind of going based off what I'm seeing. Solid bottom around 7 here. If this thing could come back, confirm around 8, the high 7s where it has that year high, and that lines up with resistance here intraday from Friday. If it could hold this area, I think it could give it a little boost to retest the highs of Friday for a quick snipe. But if it keeps holding up and the trend is there, demand keeps coming in, I don't see why this can't test 10, probably even 12. But it's going to be important that the demand and the trend are intact. So this is also going to be a waiting game like AEY to see what we get tomorrow, what the action is like. Could easily be a no play and just ignore it. But if momentum is there, if the demand really does continue and improve, we could see a squeeze out of this. So those are the top 4 plays. These are just ones I got on watch. But keeping it small, the watch list. It's on Twitter already if you want to check it out and go through the other plays. But yeah, we'll just wrap it up there, and I'll have another video lesson in a moment going over the week and my performance, any adjustments I need to make, lessons, yada yada. So we'll just wrap it up. Hope everyone has a great one. We'll catch you guys later.